Thanks, Leonardo, for agreeing to do this interview. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
To start with my dad. He came here from Mexico as an immigrant and with little to nothing. It's a common story, but that's how my dad started here in America. He was working with horses and, at a ranch, like a horse groom. And he built a racehorse empire, I would say. And I was born in the middle of that racehorse empire building. I was raised in the ranch where he paid a saddle and a horse for a down payment, and he was just scrapping up whatever he could to make his payments. But it really shaped my childhood, and it just made me really love animals, and it was just the norm for me just to grow up there in a ranch. And fast forward to my college career, I always knew I wanted to do something with that racehorse empire. My dad is getting a little older, so I'm taking on a little bit more and more responsibility for some things, like working at the ranch, taking care of all the 11 acres there, and going to the racetrack and saddling horses that are going to race. And I that's not the only thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to venture off and have my own empire, I guess I would say. So it happened when I got my first dog 3 years ago, and she was a troublemaker. So I would want to tire her out. She loved playing keep away. She never wanted to give it back to me. So I made a makeshift chase toy with an avocado picker with a treat at the end, and I would just have her run around while I just stood there. And I knew that was pretty dangerous. So it evolved into a toy, a ball and rope. And I took it to the park a couple times, and people loved it. People were asking me where I got it and stuff. So I decided to move on to, building a company from that. And it was perfect because I was in the entrepreneurship program. So it kind of just went hand in hand with my classes, the startup classes. I would plug in everything that they were teaching me to my, starting my company. And I've started this company. It's super small. It's just called Run Ball, and I'm just starting off right now. That's a little bit about myself, a little choppy, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I give you a lot of respect for that. I mean, it seems like you've accomplished quite a bit since graduating Cal State Fullerton. Tell me a little bit about the scariness of I don't know, trying to build a new product. Did you find it scary at all? Were you just down to take the risk?
It's very overwhelming, just all the parts to it. You have to find, sourcing all the stuff and, building a website. And I was lucky enough to have some support from my parents, but it's still a lot of work. And it was overwhelming. But, you just take step by step, little by little, and it slowly, becomes what you want it to become.
Nice. And how would you say Cal State Fullerton helped you out going into your new career after college?
I would say Cal State Fullerton really helped me with kind of like leadership, because I was a team leader in 3 out of 4 of my consulting classes, and I would really motivate my team. And it kind of helped me with when I had some things that I needed to do, but I didn't want to, or I was just putting them off. I would kind of I felt the same way as if I was motivating my team, but to myself. And it just really helped kind of with, you see a daunting task and you talk yourself through it and you do little by little. I feel like that was a big takeaway from Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good introduction going into like the business. I feel it gives us a sense of confidence when we
Uh,
go into there now.
yeah,
Because prior to this, I wouldn't have considered myself like an expert in anything in business. And after leaving, you at least feel like you have a good foundation to go out there.
totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say the most important lesson you learned at Cal State Fullerton was? It can be anything.
Um, I think an important lesson, there's my troublemaking dog barking again, but a really important lesson is that I learned was just do the next step. And even if you don't feel like you're ready, just go ahead and just keep doing it, keep going, start, and don't be afraid to jump off the paddleboard. The water is fine. That's a big lesson that I took away as well from Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, beautifully said. If you had to offer somebody some advice who's maybe considering an entrepreneurial education at Cal State Fullerton, what's that piece of advice?
Okay, I guess the last part really bled in here. I would give them the advice of just take the plunge. Don't think you're going to do it, next month when you have this ready, because it's always going to be something. There's always going to be something that you don't think would work if you took the next step. So that's definitely a big lesson that I took, and one that I will keep telling people if they ever ask me for advice is just do it, make mistakes along the way. And it's super cliche, I think, but it's cliche for a reason. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting the amount of excuses that we'll start to tell ourselves sometimes when we want to start something new, especially when it's a little bit scary or risky like this. So we're always thinking of something to try to, push it off till tomorrow. But that's really good. I'm stoked that you're able to have like that good self will to go out there and do that business.
Thank you.
And you're a part of the Startup Incubator as well, right?
Yes, I am.
Nice. Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. How is that?
It's great, actually. Apart from having all the resources I need, which is huge. When I needed something, I needed someone to help me with my website. They had a guy. When I needed some like legal help, they had a guy. The resources they have is just it's just amazing, to say the least. But not only that is my mentor Bob. He keeps me in check. He keeps me accountable. So it's easy to put some things off when you're by yourself, but it's not that easy when you have someone to check into. And when they're like, what did you do last month or last week? It just helps a lot to have someone to talk to, and to have the team like JJ, Travis, Bob, and Philip. They've been helping me the past couple months, and it's helped me enormously, just keeping me accountable. I think that was a big help. So resources and accountability is two big things.
Got it. Yes, it seems like you're working with a couple of different mentors in there who are helping your business out. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. How's doing the incubator during COVID? Are you still doing it at this time?
Okay. So yeah, the incubator during COVID, it just has changed to Zoom meetings just like this. I think they are just as helpful. And actually maybe even more helpful, because you don't have to go out and drive to a meeting, and you just log onto your computer and you ask your questions, you get your resources, and it's actually, it hasn't, I feel maybe it's even improved because of that factor. Mm-hmm.
Well, before we close it off, that's pretty much the last questions I have. Do you want to give yourself a shout out maybe to your businesses or any websites that we could check out?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, my company is Runball, and it's runballdogs.com. And I actually have like this is it.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm actually being featured in a store, Animalia, Huntington Beach. It's my very first order. It's just a small amount, but it's just a great accomplishment that I feel like it's just a dream come true, really. Being in a store, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's my shout out.
Yeah, look at you, dude. Yeah, that's good, dude. I can't believe it. That's always nice to hear that, these success stories are always happening all the time. And it gives me some hope. Hopefully it gives the viewers a little bit of hope.
I hope
so. But all right, Leonardo, we'll go ahead and sign off here. Thank you so
great.
much.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.